Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today for a brand new pick a card reading. For those of you that are new to the channel, hello and welcome in. My name is Melissa, and today's reading is going to be answering the question, what's next in love for singles? So my plan for today's reading is to take a look at any major energies, events, themes, or situations of significance that are potentially headed your way in the present to near future within the category of love. So we'll kind of look into the energies. We'll look to see what's potentially ahead for you. And then I'm also going to be working with some decks to help us uncover any potential blockages that are kind of getting in your way from being able to allow love to flow into your life, as well as closing out with some advice. So getting into our disclaimers, first and foremost, always remember this is a general reading, which means that some messages may resonate very specific to your situation, other messages may not. As I always say, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. If I'm talking about something in this video and it really feels like it doesn't fit your situation, then it's probably not a message that was meant for you today, okay? You can opt to book a personal reading. I do offer a singles version of personal readings if you guys were to go over to my booking site, and it's very similar to what we're going to be doing in today's video. So personal readings are always a great way to get a more specific and accurate read on your own personal situation. Also, bear in mind with this reading, because we're sort of looking into the future to see what's next in love, this means that, depending on the actions you take and the energy you choose to embody, the outcome can change, right? So the future is not set in stone because energy is always changing. So this means that if you guys see something that is predicted out for you in today's reading that you don't really feel that excited about and you wish that it could be something different, just know that you have free will to make your own choices and decisions and to totally choose a new and different direction if that's something you desire to do. So never feel like you're tied or bound to anything that a tarot reading is saying because you have free will. All right, let's go ahead and get into our pile selection for today's reading. So we're working with 3 groups today. Starting here on the left, we have group number 1. This is going to be the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, and we are working with some spirit quartz here. For pile number 2, we are working with the Everyday Tarot, and we have a rose quartz palm stone. And then for pile number 3, we are working with the Happy Tarot and this piece of moonstone. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Think about what's next for you in love. Go ahead and select the deck or the crystal that you're feeling the most pulled to intuitively. And once you've made your choice, scroll down to the description box below where you'll locate the timestamp that will take you to your chosen reading. See you there. Hey there, pile number 1. If you guys picked out the Rider-Waite Tarot with the Spirit Quartz Crystal, this will be your reading all about what is next in love for you, for my singles out there. We are going to be shuffling your tarot cards on camera in just a moment, but we are going to be also working with some pre-shuffled oracles here. So we're actually going to start off just by looking into the overall energies coming up for you this next phase in your love life. So we start your reading off with Debilitated. We have Spread Kindness. And we have Protected. You are safe and divinely guided. So starting things off with the first card of Debilitated. This card is telling me that what is next in love for you guys is... So, okay, I know the card probably looks really negative because it's talking about discomfort, okay? But this card actually has a really beautiful and deeper meaning to it. I feel like what's coming up next for you guys is that you're going to be moving through a learning and growth phase as it pertains to your love life. So I see that you guys may be put into a situation coming up here where you're feeling a little bit out of your element. Maybe you are choosing to stretch yourself and go into environments or date people who are a little bit different from where you typically thrive, okay? So this is beautiful because, the only way that we really change in life is through getting just a little bit uncomfortable, right? This card is really talking about like strengthening weak muscles. So think about what is the weak muscle for you in love, whether it be a skill or just something that you know that you need to do, but you haven't really done it in a while. And this is what is going to be strengthened during this upcoming time for you, okay? there is, I think, a little bit of fear around this and maybe an energy of feeling a little bit closed off to it initially, because we do have the message of protected. You are safe and divinely guided. So I think it's going to be very important for you to remember that even though this might feel a little awkward or you may feel a little out of your element, that this is all for your highest good for whatever reason, and you are safe. And this is all part of you this is all part of you navigating forward onto your divine path in love. Okay. Your heart chakra is being activated here during this next kind of phase in your love life as well with this green card. The green has to do with our heart chakra, and this one is specifically highlighting the need to spread kindness. So maybe for some of you guys, what's a little bit uncomfortable about this situation is being a little bit more vulnerable with your heart and being a little bit more like emotionally expressive, if that makes sense. This could be a muscle that you're strengthening. Maybe some of you guys leading up to this reading have really struggled with being vulnerable, letting your guard down, being able to speak from the heart and share how you truly feel. Maybe even just being afraid to kind of put yourself out there and even give someone just like a genuine, sweet, nice compliment from the heart, because for whatever reason, that doesn't feel safe. Right? So this upcoming time, I think, is going to be really beautiful for your growth, because I see you guys working on spreading kindness to others, not being afraid to like give like a sweet romantic gesture or express kindness to someone, and allow yourself to be a little bit more vulnerable and open with others. So this is really interesting. We are going to go ahead and start going right into the tarot, but I'll let you guys know we are going to be using a few more oracle cards. Make sure you guys are hanging out with me till the end, because I am going to also be using this deck where we find out what is blocking you potentially from attracting love into your life, or just some cool things for self-reflection here. So pile number 1. Let's go ahead and see what is next for pile 1 in love. Energies, events, people, situation of significance, please. Like, I keep feeling like maybe some of you guys are going to like go out on a date with someone that looks different like than your typical type, or like you're trying to get into some different spaces. There's just something different that you guys are trying next in love. So let's kind of see what comes through. For some of you guys, this could even be just like about dating a different type than you're typically used to, you know? Okay, so we have the Devil card in reverse. We have an Ace of Wands. We have an Ace of Cups. Okay. 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 Well, this one wanted to fly out, so we're going to take the Chariot card with the Eight of Wands reversed at the bottom of the deck. So what I'm kind of getting from this right off the bat is that with your 2, it's really interesting. You guys have a lot of new beginning potential energy coming up here, which makes a lot of sense with our debilitated card, because again, this is about kind of strengthening a weak muscle, you know, and putting yourself out there to grow and learn and develop some skills as it pertains to love. And so it kind of makes sense that we would have these potential energies here of aces, right? Because the aces, they're new beginning energies, but they're also just potential energies. We have to actually flex the muscle. We have to actually put work in to see these aces grow and prosper into something more. And I definitely see that you guys have this really beautiful energy here of the Devil card reversed, of, again, removing yourself from situations that are no longer healthy or that no longer serve you in your highest good. I feel like this is actually a really positive card for us to get, especially like kicking off the energies that we're seeing here, pile 1, because I feel, again, that like whatever you guys have been the most familiar with in your relationships is what you're letting go of. And it might feel a little scary, or it might feel a little uncomfortable, but whatever you guys have been used to, whatever types of connections, maybe this is a connection of significance or just a pattern that you guys have dealt with in love, it hasn't been healthy. It hasn't served you in your highest good. It hasn't really given you, it hasn't really fulfilled your true highest needs, right? The Devil is sort of when we're in situations that are maybe more toxic or unhealthy, or we're in situations that are more about physical attraction versus, a more well-rounded kind of healthy, balanced sort of attraction, right? This can be very obsessive energy. This can be codependent energy. It's going to be different for everybody viewing this depending on your situation. But just know that you're breaking free of this cycle and you're going to be trying something new here. The Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups, again, these are talking about new beginnings, potential energies for new love in your life. The Ace of Wands being more about chemistry and passion. The Ace of Cups being more about love and romance. And this is really kind of echoing this spread kindness card here with the heart chakra. I definitely feel that you guys are being gifted an opportunity here to how do I say it? You're being gifted an opportunity here to like water these proverbial seeds in love. There could be someone entering your life, that is going to, you may feel like this instant chemistry and attraction to, that you may feel has a lot of potential for a deep and meaningful type of love. Because the Ace of Cups is definitely an energy of love, like the purest form of love and emotion, especially in the upright. So you guys may have feelings for someone out of the blue with the Ace of Wands that you aren't expecting. Even if this doesn't have to do with like another person just yet, you guys, which we're going to see. I have more cards coming, but let's just even say this next phase of your life doesn't necessarily include another person that you're dating, right? This is just about you being single and what's next for you, right? These two cards coming up are telling me that you are getting comfortable with these aspects of yourself, right? So again, like as an individual, how are you feeling with emotional expression? What are the activities and the behaviors that you're doing to be able to practice opening up your heart? And the same thing too with the Ace of Wands. What are some of the things that you're doing and embodying in your day-to-day life that are going to help you to open up your passions? Right? Because I know it's cliche, but like oftentimes when we are lacking certain elements within ourselves, we tend to get into these connections where maybe we feel like overly dependent on somebody else to get these things. So just food for thought, not saying that's your situation, but definitely lots of major opportunity coming up here. And with the Chariot card to close us out, I see you guys actually being very dedicated and driven and motivated to be able to achieve a specific goal in love. So I definitely feel like you guys are realizing that the past is no longer serving you. And now we have kind of this laser focus energy on thinking about what you ultimately want for yourself in love. The Chariot is all about victory. It's all about being able to identify the end game, the end goal, and being able to just zoom after it with laser focus, okay? So let's continue. We're going to go into some love cards next. This is also Cancer energy and Capricorn energy, if that resonates with anyone. So we have self-worth coming up, which makes a lot of sense. I'm definitely feeling like this is going to be a period of time for you guys to maybe learn to be a little bit more self-sufficient. And again, like I was kind of saying, like filling up your own cup, filling up your own passions, filling up your own cup outside of another person. We have hope. So yeah, it's sort of like with the Chariot card. It's like kind of keeping your eye on the prize. Hope is giving me like star energy from the tarot, meaning like this is a time of healing and renewal for you. And there is a lot of hopes and dreams, or there are a lot of hopes and dreams for you when it comes to love. I feel like everyone in this group is aspiring to a certain type of connection that they're looking for. And this Devil reverse was not it, right? So when we have the Chariot card coming in, this is sort of about what is the end goal? Like what is the ultimate partner that I'm wanting in my life, and what are the skills and tools that I need in my tool belt to attract this in, to work towards this. We also have trust. So there is an energy here of building trust, whether it be trust in self, trust in the process, trust with another. I also think that you guys are in a place where you may be working on building trust with others. And maybe this is also a part of the lesson that we're learning in this debilitated energy is like, learning how to open up your heart here and trust again is coming through. So For some of you guys, this definitely could be like another person. I'm not necessarily seeing it super obviously here, and especially with self-worth coming up, I think that that is going to be the main focus, but it definitely feels like you have good things coming on the horizon. So whether you continue to remain single during this period or date or have someone in mind, these are kind of the common themes that you're going to be navigating. So to close out your reading, we're first going to take a look at any potential blockages. So what is potentially blocking love for you? Just some things you want to reflect on, and then we will end it with some advice. So for pile number 1, we have need rescuing. You're waiting for love to save you, but you must stop waiting and start looking. So there's that laser focus of the Chariot card, right? Like maybe you guys have been kind of like, I don't know, maybe you guys have been single for a while, or maybe you've been waiting to see if someone's going to come into your life for a while, taking a more passive stance on love. And I think that with this debilitated energy, you're going to be challenging yourself to do something different, to take a little bit more of an active role in love instead of just like leaning back and just waiting for it to come to you. And I also think that this needing rescuing is talking about removing yourself from toxic situations and being able to, again, fill your own cup. We also have eye candy. Beauty fades. Choose someone for their inner beauty and personality. So this could also be kind of like what's different. You know, maybe you guys are going to be challenging yourselves to try something a little different for outside of your type during this time as well, right? Like I was kind of picking up on that like at the very beginning, if you guys remember. You know, this, yeah, like you guys maybe have definitely had a specific type in love for some of you. And so I definitely think that this time you want to be kind of thinking about like more of the qualities and characteristics. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't date someone that you're not physically attracted to. Like you want to be physically attracted to your partner. That's definitely important. However, there are other qualities that are more important, right? So thinking more again with the Chariot card about the end goal, like what are the actual traits that you want in a partner? What is the type of relationship that you want to build, and what would those qualities look like in a partner? Closing out with some advice, we have headspace. I have the ability to change my mood by the thoughts I am choosing to think. I focus on things that bring me joy, not on things that rob me of my peace. So again, it is about choosing kindness, right? It is about connecting more with your feelings, your heart space, removing anything from your life that is bringing you down, because that devil energy, while this type of connection can feel very good in the moment, it doesn't necessarily ever give you what it is that you ultimately want. I kind of like think of the devil card. This is an analogy that I like to use, but it's sort of like, let's say you had a fitness goal or something. You wanted to lose weight, right? Well, the devil card is when we're going to like indulge in a piece of chocolate cake because we just want to indulge in it. But if we were to indulge in the chocolate cake every single night, yes, it feels good in the moment. It tastes really good, but ultimately it doesn't get us to our end goal. You know what I mean? And so maybe you guys have indulged in certain connections that have felt really good in the moment or filled kind of like an immediate need, but they don't ultimately end up giving you the type of dynamic that you're going for. So with the Headspace card, this is all about being more aware of protecting your energy and removing those things from your life that are causing you to feel negative. This is really powerful too, because it's kind of like this energy of thoughts become things. And if you really think about it, like our mind is so powerful that it does affect our emotions. So just think about a time when maybe you guys made an assumption about something that was totally wrong and how terrible maybe it made you feel. So like the way that you think directly impacts the way you feel about a situation, which then impacts the way you behave, which then impacts your ultimate result, right? So I think that this is going to be a great, beautiful time for you guys to work on just flipping those thoughts into more of like assuming positive intent versus assuming the worst out of situations. So Pile 1, this looks like a really beautiful time ahead in love for you. I would love to hear from you in the comments how you feel it resonates with your situation. So please drop me a note down below and let me know. If you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. This way you all are aware when I'm uploading new content, and I look forward to seeing you in a new reading very soon. Bye. Hey there, pile number 2. If you guys picked out the Everyday Tarot with this Rose Quartz Palm Stone, this is going to be your reading all about what is next in love for singles. So we're going to get into your tarot deck in just a moment, but I want to actually kick things off with some oracle cards. So we're going to first kind of channel kind of the overall energy of what's ahead for you, and then we'll get into more details, closing things out with any potential blockages for you and advice when it comes to love. So for you guys, we have the root chakra, you are safe and protected. We have Capricorn, achieve. We have go slow, take time to get to know each other. Okay, interesting. So I'm not gonna lie, you guys, seeing Capricorn as like the overall energy of love is interesting because to me, this feels like a card that's more like work oriented sometimes than it does about love. So for some of you guys, there actually could be an element of work tied into your love life for some. Like maybe you guys are meeting someone through your job or meeting someone through the type of work that you do. This could be like a common theme. But the other thing that I'm getting from Capricorn energy, kind of similarly to this card, is that it's a marathon, not a sprint, okay? So we're going to get more information here. It does seem like you could be connecting with someone during this time, but whoever you are connecting with, it is probably going to be more of a slow-moving type of connection. And the reason is because, you know, Capricorn energy is the energy of wanting to, like the card says, achieve. It is, when I think of Capricorns like in a relationship, they're very like dedicated partners. They're very like I get like acts of service vibes, not generalizing all Capricorns. Every person is different, but like to me, I think of a person or a connection that we're trying to kind of build a solid and stable foundation versus just rushing into something, okay? A lot of times when we are rushing into relationships, it can be driven from like anxiety. When we rush into relationships, it can be driven by passion. It can be driven by a lot of these urgent feelings that we have for the person. But sometimes when you are rushing into something, you don't really have the opportunity to fully assess the situation and see if you're truly compatible, right? Because once that passion fizzles out, then you're looking at the person and you're like, ooh. Sometimes it's like, okay, I don't know if this is quite right, you know? So there's definitely going to be slow moving energy here for you guys. Now, especially with the root chakra here, this is talking about being safe and protected. So I do kind of wonder if anxiety is an issue for some of you guys that chose group number 2, because this is a very grounding energy as well as the energy of Capricorn here. This could be a time where the slowness, the slow pace of things is making you feel a little bit anxious. But with this card coming up, I'm also getting a message about foundations, because the root chakra is kind of like our foundation for something, right? It's the foundation of all the chakras. So, you know, a relationship needs a stable and steady foundation if you want it to be successful, right? And achieve the ultimate goal here. But there could be a little bit of anxiety that you guys are feeling because this thing is going really slow. So let's see. This is definitely piquing my interest. Pile 2. I want to look into the tarot cards next. Let's just kind of see like what's ahead more specifically when it comes to love. I would say if you guys are connecting with someone at work too, even more reason to go slow, right? Because depending on your situation, could be a lot of things at stake here. So you really would want to make sure that this is the right type of person to connect with if it could potentially put your career in jeopardy, right? But for others of you too, I do kind of keep feeling that there's a message of like other priorities in your life being highlighted at this time. So there could be more of an emphasis on your work than romance. But let's see. Let's just see what comes through. And you guys, this little deck, it loves to just stick, like meaning that it's very shady. I don't know. It can be like very direct and blunt. I don't know. Normally, yeah. Let's just see. Okay, so I do feel the Ace of Pentacles is coming out. Yeah, like normally I don't always feel like decks have different personalities per se, but this one, it definitely has one of its own. Ace of Wands. That's interesting. 2 aces. That also happened in group 1. They had 2 aces. The Strength card. Patience. And we have the 9 of Cups in reverse. And we do have a King of Swords here at the bottom. So, you know, yeah, I mean, just like with pile number 1, with these 2 aces coming up here, I do definitely see that this period that you guys are coming into has a lot of potential when it comes to relationships for you. Now, with the Ace of Pentacles, there's an energy here of the potential for something to actually grow into like a tangible, sustainable connection, right? This is when we're putting in like that practical effort to getting to know someone. And then we have the Ace of Wands here, which is kind of all about the passion, the chemistry, you know, the fire between the both of you. So it's interesting that you guys also got 2 aces, because this is telling me that regardless of what other circumstances are happening in your life during this time, whether it be work or whatever, there is potential here for you to have a connection that can grow. But the caveat that I always give with these types of cards with aces is that, you know, you have to actually put in effort if you want to see them grow. So if you guys are dating someone, you have to actually like go on dates. You have to actually get to know them. You have to actually, you know, ignite that spark. Otherwise, it just remains this stagnated potential energy, right? So it does feel like there's potential, but it's going to be up to you to make sure that you and this person are actually like putting forth the effort. Now, we do have the Strength card here, which is interesting. Like, to me, when I'm getting the Strength card, especially right here next to this Ace of Wands, I definitely feel that you guys are having a lot of chemistry with someone, or that you're feeling highly attracted to someone, or if someone is highly attracted to you, and there's sort of this energy of holding back. And again, I think it's coming from this slow pace, this need to kind of take things slow and steady and make sure that you're fully vetting the person and getting to know each other on a more practical level versus just impulsively jumping into like a chemistry-driven relationship. This card is also telling me that there is going to be a time of needing to be patient too, especially if you guys are the ones that are more really attracted to someone. There is definitely going to be a period of time where you are really reining that in and holding it back and trying to be patient. And it may feel with the 9 of Cups reverse like kind of frustrating, like maybe you're not getting what you want as easily as you typically would. Because the 9 of Cups reversed is sort of when, like, you know, we're not satisfied. You know, like we want to have our way and it's just not happening like that. So this is interesting. I want to let's go into some oracle cards next to get some more context here. We have Mystery coming up. We have Spark. Yes. So there is definitely someone you guys have chemistry with. Like, that is clear. And we have Spy. Yeah, so like it feels like there is definitely a lot of chemistry that you and this person share. But again, it's like you guys are having to deal with the fact that it's going really slow. And I don't know why, but I feel like for you guys, my viewer, I think you guys are the ones that would like it to go a little bit faster. I don't think that would be like, we wouldn't have this card coming up telling you to take it slow if that wasn't the case, but maybe it's the other person for some of you. I just feel like your energy a little stronger in this reading for whatever reason. But, you know, I think that there's a mystery about this connection, like where you guys are really wanting to discover more about it. You're wanting to explore it further. I almost wonder if like the unknown is what's driving this chemistry as well, you know, like really just wanting to know what is underneath the mask and what's behind the curtain, so to speak. And there may be with this person a little bit of social media activity going on where you guys are kind of keeping tabs on one another on social media or DMing, text messaging a lot, things like that. I don't really see like a lot of action happening here. This is more just sort of energetic that I'm picking up on, but that doesn't mean that action can't happen. I kind of want to clarify the Ace of Pentacles. Just curious. I didn't do any clarifiers in pile number 1, but I just want to know because the Ace of Pentacles is like, we have this opportunity to put effort into something, so what are we doing with that? What is this Ace of Pentacles about for pile 2? The Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, you guys are dealing with someone so slow. That is so funny. There's like a reassessment here. So maybe you and this person, you know, maybe you guys have already known each other a certain way. Maybe there already is some sort of foundation built on this connection. And now we're reassessing and deciding like if we want to change things up or how we want to move forward. But it's like, yeah, I think the reason that we have this maybe almost feeling of stagnation of potential here is because the person you guys are dealing with is going super slow. I want to see what the Ace of Wands is about for pile 2. The King of Pentacles in reverse. More Pentacles with the Hermit card at the bottom. So more earth energy here. Yeah, it's like there's passion, there's chemistry. I'm wondering if you guys, again, it's like you're drawn to this person because maybe they're withdrawn a little bit or they're kind of mysterious. I don't typically read the King of Pentacles as like mysterious, but with it being reversed, this is sort of like the anti-commitment energy. Like this is sort of the king that would be like, you know, not really in the best place to offer something stable right now, or someone who is still working on themselves. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It just means like they're still working on themselves, which is why they're in this Knight energy of being more slow. So maybe this person is dealing with work stuff too. Let's see. Strength. Yeah, the Ace of Cups. There's definitely feelings here in this connection, you guys. And I think that you are, in an effort to kind of match this person's energy, we are holding back a little bit. Let's look at the Nine of Cups. Temperance, yeah. Yep, more patience energy is coming through, you know, and maybe your person is sort of more logical, or maybe you guys are trying to embody this more logical kind of detached energy. But the overwhelming vibe that's coming through for you guys is that there is someone here. There is love, there is passion, there is chemistry, but there is a slow pace to this. So there has to be a reason for it. Let's take a look next and see what potential blockages you guys may need to be aware of as it pertains to your love life and this particular situation. So we have self-neglect. You are neglecting your own needs in relationships. Practice self-care. So maybe you guys have been the type in the past to always give and give and give, right? And so Spirit is asking you to make sure that you're nurturing yourself and your own needs at this time. This can also be why maybe you guys are kind of withholding a little bit, right? There's sort of this need to see what this person is offering to you before you're just going to like spill all the beans to them. You know what I'm saying? We also have being a victim. It says you feel helpless to change your love life, but you can change whenever you want. I'm not saying you guys are playing the victim. The card is kind of blunt, but you know, what it's kind of talking about is that you have the power to create whatever life you want for yourself, right? So if you decide like this situation is not serving me, it's too slow, you know, I don't like having to hold myself back. If it doesn't feel like it's worth it for you, you have the ability to say, you know what, I'm going to pursue other options, or I'm going to walk away from this situation here. It definitely feels like divine timing is at play with this particular connection, with the Temperance card coming up here. So I think it's going to be really important that if you guys do continue to engage here, that you are practicing patience, but ultimately, like, you can't change another person, but you can totally change yourself. And if something about this is leaving you feeling a little dissatisfied with that Nine of Cups reversed, you can make the necessary changes to attract in the type of partner you desire, right? So closing it out, let's just get one little message of advice here. Oh my gosh, breathing room. I trust in the process of divine timing. Didn't I say that? That is wild when this happens. Yeah, so maybe this situation just needs a little breathing room, and that's totally fine. It's hard when there's chemistry and there's passion. And I know this person feels it too, because it wouldn't be here if they didn't feel it too. But for whatever reason, divine timing is at play. And what I'm seeing through these clarifiers that I got is that this person that you guys are dealing with is still dealing with their own stuff, right? They're still in the night phase, right? And they're showing up as a reversed king. This could also be why we have the Capricorn here, is like maybe your person is still working on their career or building their resources and things like that. And because of this, this is the type of person who wants to make sure that everything is right, that everything's done correctly. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean that like they're doing this to be a jerk or they're moving slow to be like spiteful. I think that this is the type of person that's just very practical and wants to make sure that whoever they're with is really right for them, which is actually a good thing. So your advice from Spirit is to give the situation some breathing room, allow it to go slow. This is a great opportunity for you to practice patience if you choose to do so, because divine timing is 100% at play in the situation. So pile 2, we're going to go ahead and close out your reading there. But I would love to hear from you in the comments how it resonates with your situation and what's been going on in your love life. If you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. This way you guys are aware of when I'm uploading new content. And I do look forward to seeing you in a new video really soon. Bye. Hey pile 3, if you guys picked out this moonstone with the Happy Tarot, this is going to be your love reading. We're looking into what is next in love for singles. So I'm going to start things off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards so we can get a look at kind of the overall energies you're working with. Then we'll transition into tarot and close it out with some love messages specifically centered around guidance, advice, and what's potentially blocking you as you move forward in your love life. So let's see what we have. So kicking off your reading, we have Saturn, we have calm your mind, we have apology. Ooh, T, okay. So I definitely see what is coming up next for you guys is with the Saturn card coming up here. This is sort of like the energy of growing up, right? Saturn is like the dad of the zodiac, and it comes around to sort of remind us of what our responsibilities are. So there could be something around you guys maturing in relationships or becoming more responsible in your relationships. Learning how to set proper boundaries in relationships could be something that you guys are working through as well. Now, for some of you guys, I think that you have someone else coming around to apologize to you about something. But for others of you, I'm kind of reading this as, you guys might be choosing to reach out and apologize to someone, because Saturn, again, with it being about responsibilities and karma, it's like, it's coming here to tell you like, okay, you got to tie up that loose end before you can move on, right? So that could be what's going on for some of you. But this card is really standing out to me because the Calm Your Mind card, this is all about our third eye chakra. And the third eye, especially with it talking about calming your mind, is telling me that you guys are going to be working during this time on trusting more in yourself, trusting more in situations, and releasing any anxiety. A lot of times when you are in a place of, and it doesn't even mean like you guys necessarily may struggle with obvious anxiety. You guys may just have like ruminating thoughts sometimes about your love life or about this situation. And I think during this time, it's about sort of relaxing and seeing things as they truly are in the present. Sometimes with a third eye, when there's an imbalance there, there can be this constant worrying about the future and like what's going to happen in the future instead of trusting that everything will be taken care of and releasing the attachment to outcome. So something about what's coming up next for you guys in your love life is going to be allowing you the peace that you need to trust in yourself and trust in the situation again. So we are going to now look and see just a little bit more info into what is ahead for you guys. So okay, so the Devil card is coming out. So what is next in love for pile 3? We have the Hierophant card, the King of Swords, okay, and the Sun card in reverse with the 9 of Pentacles at the bottom. So definitely single independent energy coming up there at the bottom of the deck for you guys. You guys have heavy Capricorn in your reading with both Saturn and the Devil card coming up. So Capricorn could be a significant sign to your situation, but we do also have Taurus and Leo here, as well as air energy with the King of Swords. But you guys have some pretty major energies coming up here because you have 3 major arcana cards, which tells me that what's next for you guys in love is a pretty major cycle that you guys may be closing out or going through. So I feel like with the Devil and the Hierophant card starting us off here, there's maybe this energy of some sort of relationship or some sort of just pattern or energy within relationships that you guys continuously experience that do not really serve you in your highest good. When I think of the Devil card, I think of, and I was explaining this to pile 1 because they also got the Devil card in their reading, but the Devil card is sort of like when we are indulging in a relationship that meets an immediate need for us, whatever that need is. But ultimately, the relationship doesn't really serve us in our highest good. You know, it doesn't really align with what our true values are and what it is that we ultimately want for ourselves in love. But I am kind of feeling for some of you guys that there's been this feeling of being stuck with this Devil card coming up right here next to the Hierophant card. So I don't know if you guys coming into this reading have been stuck in like a toxic relationship or stuck in a relationship that you feel like you owe something to this person, you're bound to this person in some way, because the Hierophant card is like marriage, it's commitment, you know what I mean? It's like it can talk about committed relationships. But this card here with the Hierophant can also talk about belief systems and traditions. And so I'm wondering if you guys for group 3 may also have some sort of belief system or tradition, whether it's something you believe in or something that's been imposed onto you that is feeling a little bit oppressive to you when it comes to love. And either way, whatever your circumstances are, with the King of Swords, there's an energy coming up for you of really kind of emotionally detaching from the situation and trying to look at it from a much more logical perspective, okay? Some of you guys with the Hierophant card may also be looking to spiritual guidance as well during this time. So there's spiritual guidance, but then there's also logic coming in here. And, you know, the King of Swords is definitely somebody who sees very clearly and who communicates very clearly and who's not afraid to really just like make a decision to cut something out if it's no longer serving them. Kind of like Saturn, right? Like, you know, Saturn would be like the energy of assessing this situation and deciding like, what's the responsible thing for me to do for myself here? And if it's a situation that you owe something to someone, you got to pay that debt. If it's a situation where it's like, okay, I've done what I need to do, I need to apologize, but now I'm moving on because that's what's better for me, that's what you need to do, right? So there's definitely very logical energy coming up here when it comes to the situation. But with the Sun card reversed, I definitely think that this phase that's coming up for you guys may not feel the easiest, you know? It feels like you guys may be working through some karma with a partner or just karma within yourselves. I know that this is supposed to be a love reading for singles, right? So I kind of assume that everyone watching this is single, but for some reason I do feel like there is some sort of lingering remnants of a relationship here for some of you guys. You know, so with the Sun reversed, sometimes this is like I see you guys like making a decision or, you know, making a choice that maybe you don't really want to make with the sun, you know, reverse, because that kind of talks about feeling kind of bummed, you know, like feeling sad about it, not feeling the most optimistic about things, but maybe it's a necessary decision that needs to be made here. Let's take a look at these cards next. Influence. Yes, like there's something here that's influencing this situation. We have chemistry coming up, and we have patience as well. Okay. Yeah, so there's definitely some sort of external influence this upcoming phase in your love life, you guys. I don't know why, but it feels like it could have to do with this Hierophant energy. So, you know, this can talk about really any sort of influence, whether it be religion, spiritual belief, traditions. It could even be talking about like an old spouse, an ex. It could be talking about like anyone that's like influencing this situation kind of in your ear about it, you know, because I don't know. I'm just like kind of getting someone trying to like manipulate the situation to be how they want it, you know? And, you know, there is chemistry that you guys share with this potential connection that I'm picking up on here. And that also comes into play with the Devil card, right? Because this can feel like a very passionate, strong connection, but it ultimately isn't always the most healthy connection for long term. So as you guys are navigating this situation, it's going to be very important for you to stay patient. And I love that we have this very Zen, like meditative person here. Because that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this third eye. It's like you guys are learning during this time to trust your intuition and to see the situation clearly with your intuition, right? You know, sometimes with this, we can feel like things are kind of foggy if the third eye is blocked and we're not really sure what's going on. You know, we feel like it's off, but we don't understand what it is. I think you guys are actually going to be achieving clarity with the King of Swords during this upcoming phase in your love life, where you're going to be able to see it for what it is and relax. And, you know, with the calming of your mind, this is also tying in really nicely with that patience energy. It's like, you know, again, it's just about leaning back and allowing things to happen in the way that they are divinely guided to happen. So we're going to look and see what is potentially blocking you from love with these cards, and then we will close it out with some advice. So let's see for you guys. Pile 3. We have anxiety. It says you're afraid to get close to someone. They're scared too. Give them a chance. So I definitely think, you know, anxiety with the third eye is a thing that you guys need to be mindful of. And it could be what this card is talking about. It could be that you guys are scared to get close to someone, or they're scared, and there might be a need to kind of open up a little bit more. But I'm also getting that for you guys specifically, there's an anxiety around needing to know the future, or an anxiety around needing to know what's going to happen here, that you guys are needing to kind of calm and release during this time. We also have settling. Don't stay with someone who isn't right for you just because it's safe. Yes, see, this is like that Devil and the Hierophant is giving me like established, committed relationship vibes, you know, and there is a knowing here with the Devil card that this really isn't the best suited situation for you, right? So this is just a reminder that you don't need to settle just because you feel a sense of comfort with this connection or with this energy or this specific person, okay? So let's close this out with one little message of advice, and we do have branded. What other people think about me is none of my business. I choose to let it go now. So this is also kind of tying in with the influence in the Hierophant card, you guys. Like, I definitely am feeling like there is some sort of like, you know, I don't know if it's like a tradition or value system. Maybe your family tradition is coming up here that is trying to like influence this situation. And you guys may actually worry about what other people think about you if you were to kind of break out of the traditional mold. So this is just a message of advice that It's really nobody else's business what you choose to do with yourself, because ultimately you need to do whatever it is that makes you feel happy. So just something to kind of self-reflect on as you guys are navigating your circumstances going forward. So pile 3, we're going to go ahead and close the reading out here, but I would love to hear from you in the comments how you feel like it resonates with your situation. So please drop me a note down below and let me know. If you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. This way you all are aware of when I upload new videos, and I look forward to seeing you in a new reading very soon. Bye!